Plant it and grow it. That's all that artificial food coming to a
Did you receive the Holy Spirit when you believed? So it goes back to last week's message that tells you there's a baptism into salvation. That's when we believe. Then there's a baptism in water. And can I just stop real quick and let you know that the 23rd of this month is Flood Sunday at Transformation Church? And people have said, welcome to the Holy Spirit. Can I tell y'all how many people have signed up as of about an hour ago to get baptized? 15,709 people from 25 different, oh, y'all better help me. 25 different countries are getting baptized.
What's up, y'all? Thank you so much for tuning in and welcome back to another episode of with the Poet. Of course, I am your host, Elena the Poet, and today we are so privileged. We get a chance to celebrate a birthday today, and I'm so excited. So let's get right into today's topic. All right, so today's topic is spirituality versus consciousness. And yes, I had to do it. You know I had to do it, y'all, because you know I'm a Jesus girl. Gang, gang, gang. However, I consider myself to be very spiritual, and my relationship with God the Father is tight like skinny jeans that's too small. I laugh at myself. But listen, I'm sure that people, especially artists and celebrities who, consider themselves to be conscious or what we call woke, I'm sure they think that their belief system is a spiritual way of life. Like people who have taken the healthy lifestyle. They want to be vegans or choose veganism, or they view their belief systems as a routine or as spiritual. And many would agree with that, right? But let me just ask the question. The question is posed. What is spirituality? What is it? Right? Spirituality involves the recognition of a feeling or a sense or belief that there is something greater than me, right? Something greater than me and something more than being human, than a sensory experience, and that the greater whole of which we are a part is cosmic or divine in nature. An opening of the heart is an essential aspect of true spirituality, right? Right? Now that's me, except my faith is based in the foundation of Christianity, so I believe that Jesus is the source of my life. That's what I believe, But consciousness, that's different, right?
See, everything that you do with your anesthesia has nothing to do with consciousness. It has something to do with body and various functions of the body. You're shutting down certain aspects of the bodily functions. One of them is transmission of pain, which is the main interest when somebody is going to surgery. You don't want to stop their heart, you don't want to stop their brain, you would like to see the transmission of pain stops. Whatever is being cut, whatever damage or fixing is happening, whatever parts of the body may be being removed, what is not vital may be being pulled out, all that is happening. Only transmission of pain is not happening. This has got nothing to do with losing consciousness and gaining consciousness, there's no such thing. So we're using the word wakefulness and consciousness in a little different way. And not only that, especially not just in medical terminology, generally in English language.
It's different because why? It means the state of being awake or aware, right? Aware of one's surroundings, the awareness or the perception of something by a person, right? Now, my bag of opinions is full on this one because to me being aware is good, right? It is. But then what? Right? So I'm aware, right? But then what? Right? What do you do with that? Knowing something and having a perspective on something is just one part of the puzzle, right? What happens to the other half? We're going to talk about that with our special guest. Don't go nowhere. Stay right there. Eat with a poet.
Hey y'all, what up? It's your girl, Elena the Poet, coming to you, asking you once again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Elena Poet, at youtube.com. Yeah, Elena Poet. Subscribe, y'all. Eat with a poet. Peace.
And we are back. And we are back in the video with my special guest. Listen, right now we are in East Fort Lauderdale off of Oakland Park at Burger 48. One time for Chef Corey in the back. Chefing it up at Burger 48. We representing for our black-owned restaurant. So, of course, Eat with the Poet had to slide up. Now, listen. Not only that, but I need to let y'all understand. But I need y'all to understand who is sitting at this table with me right now. I need y'all to understand what is happening at this table right now on Eat with a Poet, right? So I need y'all to understand the legendariness that sits alongside me. This is South Florida's legend. Like, I'm going to need y'all to understand, right? So today, he's 51. Happy birthday to you.
That's me. Happy birthday to
I
me.
ain't gonna start on it right now, but I'm gonna be quiet and I'm gonna let these amazing, who is Teddy T. Everybody knows him as Teddy T. But I need you to talk to these people. Tell them who you are, what you got going on in your life.
Well, what y'all gotta understand is that Wild Man Teddy T.
He said, what y'all gotta understand.
Wild Man Teddy T is my on-air personality, musical. That's that's the business, But in this type of segment right here, you're dealing with Baron Theo, mound builder. We mound building in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? Mound building is like you got Paleo Indians and you got the mound builders. These are the ancient people of the land. You know what I'm saying?
And you actually are Theodore Mound Builder. That is a part of your name now, right?
Well, my name is Theodore Taylor.
Right,
but
you
my
put Mound Builder.
full name is Baron Enoch L. 9th Ether Woolly Hair Mound Builder.
And y'all see why I got him here today, right?
You know what I'm saying?
The topic.
Building for science. You know what I mean? As above, so below. You know what I mean? I tell people every day, the universe has sons and so do women. That's called as above, so below. Serpent wisdom.
And you and I can talk for hours because where your views and just come on around, boo. One time for the chef in the back, chefing it up. This is the salmon bites.
Yes, and this is the shrimp.
The grilled shrimp.
With the soup taste.
Okay. And all right. So, and don't forget forks and plates, boo. Yeah, they bringing everything out. Once everything get out here, we're gonna have a nice little spread. It's Eat with a Poet, so my table gonna get stacked. But I needed to talk to, I call him Teddy. I call him Ted or Boo or whatever. I'm feeling at the time. But I needed to talk to him specifically about this subject because, this subject weighs heavy with me. I, especially being an artist and especially being a poet and having to make a conscious decision to live my life in purpose and be a spiritual being as well. With what I do, I'm always putting myself out in the front and I'm choosing to be what I say I am. And for people that's different, you know what I'm saying? But when I look at how you transform your name and everything like that, that is to me someone who also made a conscious decision to be this particular thing that you believe. So just talk to people a little bit about what is your spiritual connection and what is it that you believe specifically?
I really don't believe in anything. I just know what I know. It's based off of everything that you got to know is already within you already. So it's about having knowledge of self and knowing who you are and knowing your story, you know what I'm saying, with your people, where you come from. And, as being a baron is a free man. It's a person who's given a responsibility for the people.
Snap of fingers.
It's given a thing for the people, like we want.
Bring me some little plates, boo.
We want to be able to bring something that everybody can get. So, you get appointed by a higher ranking, a king, a queen, an emperor, empress. You know what I'm saying? So that's what a baron's a noble person.
African?
No, that has nothing to do with that. It's just baron, just science. Just the element of culture.
Okay.
Nobility. You know what I'm saying? And so Theo is God, Greek. You know what I'm saying? Enoch,
Your name.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Enoch is one of the patriarchs. He was one of Methuselah's children in the first in Genesis. Enoch lived for 365 days and was taken because he was a diligent study of the truth. You know, and I've been studying the truth my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So then you got El, which is the angel, which is, you know, Hebrew for angel, God, El. You know what I'm saying? Ninetitha is this.
Right here.
I got you. Ninetitha is this right here. Ninetitha is this red. This is the highest element that exists on Earth. Ninetitha, woolly hair, mound builder. You know what I'm saying? So that pretty much explains myself on the height, which is the above and then the below level. You got to have the polarity of existence.
Right. And so, now let me ask where you're from, because this is one of the biggest things for me. One of the biggest things for me is that most people are spiritual or religious based on where they come from, what part of, you know, the world you come from, and then that's what becomes your culture or your belief. For me, I'm from the South. Most people from the South are Christian-based, you know, religions. Now, I learned at an early age that, you know, this is how we do it in the church. This is that, and the other. I sang in the choirs. I did the whole praise thing. I did all of that stuff. But as I got older in life, experience in life, and in relationships too, taught me, wait a minute, you know, let's try to get some life experience for yourself and see kind of, you know, apart from what I've been taught. I used to be married to a Rastafarian. I mean, raw from yard, okay? A Jamaican, that's, you know, it was so, like, I mean, he studied it so much, and there was so much of the culture that I took to, but I would never sway from the foundation of my beliefs. And so my curiosity is, at what point did you begin to believe what you believe? Because you say you don't really believe in nothing, but you got to believe in something to believe that. Come on, boo. Look, Teddy, look what we got. Happy birthday to you. I need the plates, boy.
I'm getting them for you right
You
now.
keep forgetting.
No,
Shout out to the chef in the back.
you see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I grew up where, you know, my father's a minister. You know what I'm saying? My aunt, she worked with Salvation Army. My family is very religious. I'm the opposite. I'm spiritual. I took on the elements of the fact that, get a napkin. I took on the elements of the fact that it was that my family was spiritual, so it was something that was in the blood more so than something that was
Right.
studied or, you know, accepted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got you.
Happy
Right
birthday.
there.
I got you.
That's your Teddy. That's your turkey burger.
That's it.
And on your plate.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, I grew up in Quincy, Illinois, off the Mississippi River, on the bluff.
Quincy,
what I'm saying?
Illinois.
And on the bluff, this is where the different Mississippi, Memphis is on the bluff. So this is where the ancient people used to set up their civilizations, because they could run through the water and go wherever they needed to go. And I grew up swimming every day at Indian Mounds
Really?
in Quincy. So being where I'm from, I started to understand, you know, the mound culture and Native American. You know, I was always told that my family was Native American. So I began to study from that element, you know what I'm saying? My fifth generation grandmother was full-blooded Shawnee Native American from Kentucky. You know what I mean? So my grandmother always said, we was not from Africa. You know what I'm saying? We're from right here. And that's how I grew up, always thinking, you know what I'm saying? So when I kind of like got into what is called 5%, which is an offshoot of Muslim Islam, you know what I'm saying? It takes you to the understanding of Islam being I, self, law, and master. You know what I'm saying? So I started to understand that the things that are within you evolve you to be at the point where you need to be potentially. You know what I'm saying? So when you in 5%, they saying that you God. You know what I'm saying? So
When you're in the 5%?
Yeah, 5% nation.
Mm.
5% nations is gods and goddesses. You know what I'm
So
saying?
people who consider themselves all powerful and all knowing?
Not necessarily all powerful and all knowing, just gods in the genetic sense of being from that. You know what I'm saying? Like Genesis is the genes of Isis. You know what I'm saying?
Last one,
Okay.
besides the cake,
Put it right here.
is the vegan egg rolls.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, you wanted that, right? I knew you would.
You know what I mean? So Genesis are the genes of Isis. And Isis is the goddess. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So we're from the genes of the Most High, which is the goddess and God family. You know what I mean? So that's how I come up. Where you got to do certain deeds and have
Now,
integrity.
break it down for the people who don't know the goddess and the God family. What?
Well, I mean, you got what they got. Like when you know they call Osiris, Isis, and Horus.
And that's not Greek or
That's
originated.
that,
Is
that's
it Greek
not, no, it's not.
originated?
That's just Greek. The origin of it is Kemet, and it's Asar, Aset, and Heru. That's the supreme Father, Son, the mother, the Father, the mother, and the Son. You know what I'm saying? That's the image of that's the God family. That's what we call the Most High, and we're from that. You know what I'm saying? As an instance. So
But let me ask you, Teddy, where do you study that stuff? For people who don't know, because see, for me, you know, it's simple. The Bible and the Word of God. So everybody's going to believe something different, but my thing is, with what you believe, it gives you fulfillment and it gives you some type of energy that gives you empowerment and enlightenment. But how do you empower others with that same?
through your own history. Like my history goes beyond the Bible. You know what I'm saying? My history goes back ancient times before it was actually land names. It was all one, Mu. You know what I mean? All the land all together as one was called Mu. And as the people, we was the Amaru. We're the ancient ones. Mu de Amaru is the name of my entity. That is my indigenous ancient ones entity that I exist under. And the Crown Science Temple of She is my ecclesiastical government, which is controlled by the civil society, which is the people that's underneath the foundation, which are the people. You know what I'm saying? And so these things is just based off of, like I said, you had some of the greatest civilizations that ever existed before the Bible was even thought of. You know what I'm saying?
So you consider yourself conscious or spiritual?
You got to be both. You
So,
got to be both.
but with the consciousness part, it's the part that you would say you're woke.
Light. That's light. Conscious is light. You know what I'm saying? Conscious is to have light,
To be aware.
to be aware. That's consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And spirituality is the soul. That's the darkness. So the darkness is the chaos
You said that before. Why do you say spirituality is the darkness?
because it's the chaos. It's what it is before it's defined.
But don't you think that the soul is what connects us to God,
That's chaos.
our
Right?
Creator?
Yeah, it's chaos.
But how?
Because the Bible says in the beginning it was what?
In the beginning,
It was
what?
darkness.
In the beginning was darkness, and God said, "Let there be light."
Right. So in the beginning it was chaos. That's darkness. That's the soul. That's everything all in one. That's move. There's no separation.
So where's the good come from, and the evil? Because remember, we have both of them inside of us.
Yeah, but good and evil is just elements of polarity. Everything has polarity. You know, hot, cold,
Yeah, but
good. That's all the same thing.
right. But here's my thing: as people, right? As children, we're taught a certain thing, and we grow up, right? We have the option to go left, or we have the option to go right in life. We'll say left is bad. We'll say right is getting a job, finding your way in life, and doing what people would consider to be right. We have spirituality and we have consciousness. And in these things, we'll say, knowing everything that you know, knowing your history and knowing all these things, what sustains a person who's not as disciplined that decided, because it takes self-discipline to say, no, I'm not going to do this. No, I'm not going to do that. There are certain things just morally and spiritually within yourself where you say the chaos rests, which I choose to disagree with. But those things that sit and rest deep inside of you, what tells you no? Don't sleep with those 2 or 3 people. You know you're wrong for that. Or no, don't cheat with that person's husband. You shouldn't do that. Where does those things step in? Where what you believe?
Integrity.
Integrity. Okay.
Integrity.
Talk. Elaborate.
Everything you do is what you give yourself. What you put into yourself, not what you hear and accept. You know what I'm saying? These are things that you grow up with. That's why you grow up as being a noble person. When you're a noble person, you look at yourself as being a higher consciousness of existence. So you have a higher element what you have to control. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what part of being a god or goddess is. You have a potential to have more responsibility, and you accept it. And that's your acceptance of that responsibility is now allows you to become a free man, a noble person, because you took on the responsibility for something for all. You know what I'm saying? And so now that gives you that integrity, and now the God within you, all these things that already are connected to you ancestral, now you in tune to them because of your conscious and spirituality. It's a synchronization. It's like you on the God level. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with it to a certain extent, but it's like, you know, I don't believe that as people we can depend on ourselves to have 100% integrity where everything comes in. It's kind of like walking down the street and seeing a bag of money on the ground, right? You see a bag of money on the ground. And around the money, it's like a little tag with someone's name on it, right? And on the tag says 50,000. And you walking down the street, you see this, and nobody's around, and it's just there. Do you leave the money and keep walking? Do you pick the money up and turn it in and say, hey, this is the person's name on it? Now, what is it that you have practiced with inside of yourself so much, and the majority of people will say, I'll take the money and run. You'll probably find a small percentage of people that will say, oh, well, I'll probably turn it in or give it back. But the majority of us, even with knowledge, still have a problem with keeping ourselves in a way to wherein we don't compromise our morals and our integrity on a daily basis.
Well, that's because people have the ability to get there to say, oh, I can go to church and give my sins up. That's why. That's why.
He said, they have the ability to go to church and say, I can give my sins up.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's why. That's why.
So you saying that gives people justification to do wrong?
That's what they say.
Who is they?
Those people who do that. Those people who use
God
that
know my
element.
heart. He'll forgive me tomorrow. That's what they say.
There you go.
It's true.
There you go.
And that's why, for me, religion is not what I do. Because religion will have you caught up and going to church every Sunday and not really practicing the real life of everything that you're being taught. And then on the other hand, everything that you know and are being taught, how do you put those things into practice if you don't have a higher power to sustain you and to keep you in a certain mind frame?
I mean, we do have a higher power. And it's in us. It is us. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, like when my mother passed, I don't miss my mother because my mother's me. You understand what I'm saying?
And you know, I was tripping on that because when I found out that she passed away, and then I had talked to you not even so long after that, you sounded fine.
I am my mother. I wouldn't be here without her. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to understand. Religion is in the definition of
Subscribe
the word.
to Elena Poet on YouTube.
Religion is in the definition of the word. Legion. Now, what is legion in the Bible?
Legion is many.
What is the legion in the Bible?
It was like a legion meaning many in the
Legion
Bible.
is demons.
Right. Well, no, legion of demons, it meant many demons.
Right.
That's what the legion meant.
Exactly. And that's what to be part of religion is. To be re-demonized. It's all a part of control. They just use different words to control y'all. You know, and y'all fall for it. You know, you got to stay woke and understand you got a foundation. If you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And these are the things that we live by. Common sense values.
Right.
That's all we need to know is common sense values and soft skills, because these are things that build you to be in the right frame when you grow up. Like, I don't have no kids. I don't have no responsibilities at all. And I made myself like that. I didn't have no problem. I've been having sex with women. I've been doing everything. I'm wild man Teddy T.
He say wild man Teddy T.
You know what I'm saying? But I know what I'm doing. There's a method to the madness, and that's the chaos that I'm
What
talking
about
about.
everybody else? See, my thing is this: we have to be able to plant seeds and bring people into the knowledge and the wisdom that we obtain in life. That's one of my main goals, is to be able to give back. That somebody even listening or watching this show is able to say, okay, boom, dang, all right, and make a note of that. And that's just something different for them now that they can add to their routine that helps them out. But with everything that you believe and that you know, okay, boom, you are experienced and you have lived life. Today is your 51st birthday. So you done been through some things. Like people say, this ain't my first rodeo. It took you some bumps and bruises. We have to be honest, you know, and be transparent. It took you some bumps and bruises even to get to a point to where you would say, all right, I realize it's going to be the integrity. It's going to be the self-discipline. It's going to be this. What gives you the energy to tap into that?
I had those things from the beginning. That's what got me everything I got. Was having all these things already growing up. Like, I didn't graduate from high school. I didn't go to
I never
college.
knew that, Sammy.
I'm the first person to get hired by a radio station with no high school diploma or college degree.
By the way, when I say legend, I'm talking, if you from South Florida, we talking Power 96 radio. We talking 99 Jams radio. So when he says, oh, he didn't go to high school or graduate or go to college, he went to radio. Everybody knows Teddy T, South Florida legend. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I had to throw that in there real quick.
It's like in school. When I was in 6th or 7th grade, they talked about the Indians, the people disguised themselves as Indians to do the Boston Tea Party. So I said, oh, that must mean the Indians ran the fort. That's what I'm talking about, because they was already here, so they had to already be going back to the city. Like, no, that's not what we're saying. I said, yeah, that's not what y'all saying, because y'all don't want us to know that. But that's what I see. And the whole class was like, woo, like it took their
Your
whole
mind has always
imagination.
kind of thought outside the box when it came to certain things.
Everything. When I'm in church, why am I looking at a white Jesus? Like, all these different things hit me, you know what I'm saying? And I just start, I'm going this way. I'm not, like, I don't go left or right. I stay on the path. Because left or right is the programming. You stay on the path and evolve. It's a spiral. It's night ether. You learn this stuff and you stay on it. You know what I'm saying? So you evolve yourself, better yourself through knowledge, wisdom, and understanding.
So you made a decision and you're seeing it through. And along the way, you learn certain things that add more power to you or to your physical body through the journey. Do you believe there's power in your hair?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's power in my whole electromagnetic setting. I am power.
Come on now.
You know, I am.
And see, the difference for me is I believe that the God in me is the power, and He gives me power. So with that power radiating through me, you can't help but to feel it. You know what I'm saying? I function in what I like to call the anointing, and I know you know all that stuff, but you know, how do you feel when you talk to people that are like myself, who really believe solely what they believe?
Good. There's no problem, because I don't offend people in what they believe, because what you believe is what you believe.
But do you think what I believe is wrong?
I can't think what you believe is wrong. There's no such thing as wrong and right. It's you are your own God of your own environment, your own science. So if that's what you put together on your set, that's what's on your set. That's how you motivate yourself. however much means that it takes you to involve yourself, whether if I say Allah, whether if I say Jesus, Jehovah, it don't make a difference. They all mean the same thing. You understand?
But I don't agree with that, Teddy.
Well, you can, but in language it is. You know what I'm saying? In language it's the same thing. Allah is just another term in Arabic for God, which is Jehovah.
Right.
So it's the same thing. So is this based off of language? Like, it's called conquer and divide. And that's what they did to the people. They conquered and divided them through all of these different programs. Education, religion, economics. You divided everything. During antiquity, we did everything as one. So we're going to build these pyramids. We're going to build these pyramids as one. Okay, now the pyramids is built. Now we're going to build a transportation and a trading system around the world. So we did that as one. The one is all and the all is one. That's how you evolve yourself. That's what a community is. But we allow these people to control us through all these different, like government. It says what it is. It governs the mental. It's mind control. It's
Now let me
called
ask you a
government.
question. I've recently been studying, and it is my belief, and I'm totally accepting this to be my belief, that the laws of man are evil. Meaning that the governmental laws and everything that's been put in place is evil. And it has been put in place to use in a negative way. It doesn't
You can't say
benefit.
that term evil.
Right. I'll say
People to get
I'll
away
say the
from that.
people who wrote the laws.
People got to get away from what is good and bad, and what is evil.
It's
There's
no gray
elements of
area.
control. There's elements of control.
Okay.
And there's always a preacher controls his flock. You see what I'm saying? Every element of control is control. It doesn't make a difference. You have to look at what it is. It's control. And then are you controlled or are you sustainable?
But what you say
Are
is
you an
good control
individual?
or it's bad
You
control?
can't do that. That's what I'm trying to
But
say.
of
There is
course
no
you
such
can.
thing as good and
So
bad.
here's the thing: you gotta make a choice.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Oh, this is good. I
I'm
love
a
it.
Libra.
I love it.
I'm a Libra.
Hold that thought. We're gonna be right back. Right after this. Eat with a poet.
Hey y'all, what up? It's your girl, EWTP, coming to you, asking you once again, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Elena Poet at youtube.com. Yeah, Elena Poet. Subscribe, y'all. Eat with a poet. Peace.
Peace to all the queens. What's up out there? We live. Tapping in. I need everybody to tap in. Cool people. Eat with a poet. Subscribe. Never leak it or show it. Gotta pull your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come eat with a poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet. Kicking words with the poets, I get lyrical. Physical is great, my journey now is spiritual. Peace to the queens in the nation and foreign. I would like to introduce you to Elena the poet. Stayed down in the jungle like some bare feet. Now when we toast, ace of spade, no more bare feet. Poking beans, Dane County, yeah, I'm still hood. Spread love, feed the homeless cause it feels good. Now pay attention, this is knowledge of wealth. Throw the school books away, this is knowledge of self. Quiet is kept, listen, this the revolution broadcast. Now pay attention to Elena and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow it. Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come and eat with a poet. Come eat with a poet. Shout out to Elena the poet. Cool people. See, I need everybody to tap in, subscribe, spread love. You know what I'm talking about? Black power. Black power. Black queens. Black kings. All Shout kings. Out to all the kings. All queens. Forward move.